Hello, and welcome to the first episode of my new series, Tamsin Talks, where I read a book and then I review it for you. Today's premiere book is called Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. Now, before I really get into this book, I do feel it necessary to tell you as my audience why I chose this book and how I got there, because this book is a bit out of the way. One of the books that I recently read is very popular now, and I highly recommend any reader to read it, and it is called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I highly recommend this book. This book is about an actress, an old actress, and we go through her life and find out that though she has had 7 husbands, she also had a wife, and it kind of explores her sexuality in a time when sexuality and being gay, especially as a gay woman, was not celebrated as it is today. I felt this book on a level that I'm sure not as many people did. And I went about searching for a book that was similar, and I found this book called Tipping the Velvet, as I said, by Sarah Waters. Tipping the Velvet is a synonym for a specific act among 2 women. Yeah. I should call her. The book that I am reviewing for today's little video. This book was written in 1997, I believe, and it follows the life of Nancy, and she was a oyster farmer, and she didn't much like this life, didn't care for it. She went to the opera, she went to the theater, and she was wooed by this woman, Kitty Butler, who, yes, that was a stage name, but she was wooed by her, and she decided, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be with her. I'm going to leave this life that I've created for myself with this oyster farming, and I'm gonna leave my family, and I'm gonna follow her, and I'm going to make a life for myself. Sudden decisions that really drive the conflict of this book, and it's something that you deal with to the very end. Describe this main character. Is the plot very much goes flat, straight up, flat, back down, flat, up, flat. It's a series of stairs leading to absolutely nowhere. There was a lot in this book about the main character that worked incredibly well. It was her fact that she just couldn't for the life of her keep her peace. She would find peace, she would love it, and she would love it to death. She would squeeze the life out of it, and she would get so bored. She would be bored with how she was living. She'd be bored with herself, with her surroundings, with her environment, and that is almost what made her so infuriating. It's the reason that the structure of the book, it has so many ups and downs, is the fact that this character, as you delve into her life, as you follow her along this journey, cannot keep her peace. The conflict of the story, I believe, is truly man versus self, or in this case, Nancy versus Nancy. She cannot help herself when it comes to these things. She cannot continue her life bored, which I understand to a point. However, she will be in these amazing situations, and I'm saying this trying not to spoil the book completely for you, though I'm not sure if you're gonna read it after this review, is the fact that I don't think that she can't stay in one place for long. Nancy cannot settle. She will set her mind to something, and she will do anything to get there, and then the second she's there, she will simply not want it anymore. The character has a very strong presence. She knows she's handsome. She knows how she can get what she wants. She's prostituted herself before. She knows all of these tips and tricks She goes up and down. Her class goes so high, and then it drops in a second, which was rather dumb of her. I won't lie. And it's something that you as a reader have to deal with, or have to kind of picture yourself in her place. What would you do? And a lot of the times, really, there's just not a lot else. And every single step, you are simultaneously bored and enthralled, and you hate the main character, but you also can't help but secretly love her. This book is infuriating. It's heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. And it has such a vile accent about it. You cannot help but keep reading. You know that everything the main character is doing is inherently, of that time, morally incorrect. And that's what I think makes this book a book worth sticking with. This book requires something from you. It requires patience. It requires patience with the main character, and obviously because of its length. The main character goes through a lot in this book. An incredible amount. And while I don't want to spoil everything for the reader, it gets to a point where it feels quite hopeless, not just for the main character, but for the reader. And I think that that's something that not many authors are entirely capable of. I liked it. Tipping the Velvet was a good book. It was a book that explored different sides of being a woman loving a woman. Maybe I'm just a perfectionist. This book I would recommend, but I would recommend it to people who have a reason to read it. Thank you for coming to the first episode of my new series, Tamsin Talks. I appreciate you.